You ever have one of those moments where you come home minding your own business and just freeze? Something looks off. Something feels wrong. That's exactly what happened to my friend's dad's neighbors, sweetest older couple you'd ever meet when they pulled into their driveway one afternoon and found a giant scar carved into the side of their hillside lawn. Now, before I get into the chaos that unfolded, you gotta understand the layout of this neighborhood. It's a small mountain town where gravity's got an attitude. All the houses sit way above the main road, so driveways don't go straight up. They have to switch back like ski slopes just to avoid violating building codes. It's not unusual to see driveways curve across every inch of space available. That's what makes this story extra twisted. Because the new guy, some city transplant with more ego than manners, decided to skip the whole asking for permission part and just carved his brand new driveway right across the old couple's land. Didn't leave a note, didn't knock, just hired an excavator and tore through their property like it was abandoned. When the couple came home that day, they stood there in disbelief. I mean, there it was, this big old stretch of crushed dirt running from the road, slicing across their front yard, and winding up to the lot next door where this new guy was building his modern glass box on stilts kind of house. Totally out of place, by the way. Looked like someone dropped a Lego set in the middle of a postcard. So they do what good folks do. Instead of blowing up, they calmly walk over to the operator running the excavator and ask him, "Hey, do you know who owns this project? Because that corner over there, that's our land." The guy shrugs, just a hired hand, and gives them the number of the new owner. So the old man, being polite as ever, calls him up. "Hey there," he says, "I think there's been a mistake. Looks like part of your driveway is on our land." And the new guy, he laughs. "Nope, not a mistake," he says. "I had my surveyor's check. It's all good. No offer to meet, no apology, no willingness to even check. Just a flat-out denial." And when the old man tries to explain, the guy cuts him off and says, "Look, I've got a timeline. The house is going up. If you've got a problem, call a lawyer." Click. Now this is where most folks would feel defeated, but not these two. See, they weren't looking for a fight, but they weren't going to roll over either. They rechecked their property pins, metal markers they'd set in decades ago, and sure enough, the lower stretch of that new driveway cut a good 10 feet onto their land. Legally speaking, it was trespass. Plain and simple. Thing is, they didn't want to go down the legal road. Lawsuits are expensive, stressful, and slow. And honestly, the damage was already done. They just wanted the guy to acknowledge it and maybe work something out, but that wasn't going to happen. So the driveway stayed. The tension lingered. Construction on the house next door rolled forward like nothing happened. Until one day, my friend's dad, let's call him Randy, ran into the couple while walking his dog. They told him the whole story over coffee on their porch. And Randy, who's got a strong sense of justice and a bit of a mischievous streak, just sat there getting red in the face. "I've got an idea," he finally said, "but it's a little unconventional." They leaned in curious. Next morning, Randy pulls up in his old rust bucket F-150, the one with a dented tailgate and faded paint, and parks it perfectly across the lower stretch of the driveway that cuts across the couple's land, throws it in park, locks it up, and sticks a note in the window that reads, "This vehicle is legally parked on private property with the owner's permission. Do not tow. Trespassers will be prosecuted." The crew shows up at 7 a.m. with trucks full of materials ready to start framing the house. And there it is, the truck, blocking everything. They call the number on the note, and Randy answers, casually sipping his coffee. "Yeah, that's mine." "Nope, not moving it." "Sir, we need to work. Can you just—" "Nope, not until your boss fixes what he screwed up." They call the new guy. He's fuming. Rings the old couple, ranting about how they've got no right to block his driveway. And the old man, cool as ever, says, "That's funny, because you don't have a right to build it there in the first place." Silence. The crew doesn't want to get involved. They're not about to drag a truck off private land and risk getting arrested. So they pack up and leave. Next day, same thing. And the day after that. A week goes by with no progress on the house. Eventually, new guy caves, calls up the old couple again, but this time his tone's changed. Less chest thumping, more desperation. "Look," he says, "what do you want? You want money. You want an easement." And that's exactly what they settle on. An easement legally binding for a generous chunk of change, enough to cover the damage, their legal fees, if they had gone that route, and then some. Let's just say the couple didn't have to worry about vacation money that year. Randy, he gets several cases of cold beer and a thank you card that says, "To the guy who parked justice in our yard." But here's the part I really love. After the deal was done, after the paperwork was signed and the driveway became legal, the new guy tried to act neighborly, invited the couple over for a barbecue, like nothing happened. And the old man, bless him, looked him square in the eye and said, "You've already taken enough from us. Don't ask for our time too." Then he turned and walked away. I mean, poetic. So here's the thing. This story isn't just about land. It's about respect. It's about how some people show up thinking they can do whatever they want, take whatever's convenient, and ignore whoever gets in the way. And it's about how others, quiet, thoughtful people, still find a way to stand their ground without becoming what they're up against. And yeah, sometimes all it takes is an old pickup and a little neighborhood teamwork. But now, I want to hear from y'all. If someone built onto your property without permission, what would you do? Would you call the cops, go to court, or maybe pull a Randy and get creative? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I know this one's going to stir up some debate. And if you've ever had a nightmare neighbor situation, tell us how you handled it. You never know. Your story might be the next one we feature. If you like this one, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a little inspiration to stand up for themselves. And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories from folks who aren't afraid to draw a line in the dirt and say, "Not today." Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.